Everyone, welcome to Under the Bridge. How's it going? I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Amalgamite,
Hi, chat. Welcome in, everybody.
and we already got a super chat. Your shekels, my lord. I hope they are not connected to Epstein. I don't think I'm popular enough to be invited to Epstein.
You never know. I mean, gotta start out small and work your way up somehow, right?
No, I think
I'm
you
sure you
need to
probably
be
have connections.
connected. I think it's family genetics. Yeah.
I mean, you're in Romania. It's a pretty corrupt place. I'm sure you can probably find someone in Romania that's connected to him.
And to be honest, we have like a different type of corruption. It's usually more about embezzlement and stealing funds, that type of thing. Parties with underage girls in international waters is not really Romania's thing.
I've heard there's like child rings in Romania too. So I'm sure there's probably lots more than just corruption in
Hmm.
Romania.
Well, we got a super chat from M2M2M. He says Lifit was an ass to Nicandros on X and didn't watch Nick's Nuxanor's expose. She's also a lolly freak. How's that for your precious Oshi Amal? M2M2 wants you to know that he has been disgusted by this behavior.
I mean, I don't know what to say because generally my policy is just to ignore him.
Hmm.
In this case, because like I mean, he just goes after everybody under the sun. It's not special. Leaflet's his new target. Woo, yay, congratulations. I'm sorry, Leaflet, in advance. Uh,
I do not know who
you
this
know.
lady Liflet is.
Oh, she's a really popular um center right VTuber that covers politics and
Does
things
she
like
have
that.
big tits?
Does a No, she's
I hate her.
well.
I hate her. M2M2, you are absolutely correct going after Leaflet. I do not disavow. I encourage you to keep going. I would definitely agree. Yak, like if she doesn't have big tits, look, I can't do much. Can't do much. Like,
Well, I disavow. I like Leaflet. She's nice. And
hmm,
actually, you probably would like her. She does a lot of AI stuff.
hmm.
And makes lots of popular different things with it, like the Amelia thing. Um, she did a lot with that. She's
I
made some
think
asthma
okay.
and stuff.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. She's Japanese.
Uh, yeah, she's some sort of Asian American. I'm not
Hmm,
exactly sure.
hmm. So like one of God's actual chosen people. I see.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Zlixiad says it's his favorite Nazi, and apparently he's getting stoned, but not stoned enough to donate more than $2. So hopefully you keep working on it, Zlixiad.
You'll get even more stoned if you don't give more than $2 exactly on. I didn't have I don't have a say in this. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Apparently, M2M2 plans to keep a good life, and he does not stalk. I have to say, do you not think that stalking should be harder? Like back in the day of my grandfather, he actually had to go into the bushes in order to stalk my grandma. Now, stalking just means like going on various internet chats, moving the mouse, and just typing a couple of things on the chat. And that's stalking now. I just don't feel like it's deserved, you know?
Well, I guess it depends on how far it takes the information and the the words that are used, and there's a few different layers that kind of go into it. If it's just like a couple comments online, not a big deal, but if it gets a bit more than that, it can be a bit much.
Hmm. Anyway, speaking of how did M2M2 put it, lolly freaks. There is a new video game coming up, which it's from Capcom, and it has the 3D rendering of a child. Let me show you the actual picture, and then I'll show it to the chat as well. But when we say child, I don't mean like the modern definition of a 16 or a 17-year-old. Like no, like actual prepubescent 7-year-old child, which in the video game she is an android. So give me a second so I can show this to the chat. I forgot the
Yeah,
name.
I've seen this.
You've seen this, right? Like a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people.
like it starts with a P. It's like
Pogora,
pragmata.
Pondora, right.
Yeah, it's pragmata.
Pragmata, right. Do you know what
Hmm.
the game is about? Because like I've seen trailers of it, but I've not seen the actual. Like I know she's with an astronaut or some shit like that, and apparently she's an android.
Um, at the risk of being yelled at, I think it's something similar to The Last of Us, where it's a kid and like a father figure, in this case, robot, trying to, or maybe not complete robot. I'm seeing images of him without the mask,
Mm.
trying to escape some sort of like cyber hellhole
Would you say
dystopian
it's like
thing.
Bioshock? You know, because Bioshock like had that DLC where you have like a little girl. Bioshock 2 as well, and you have to like
I've never,
you never played it.
I have not played Bioshock yet. It's
Yeah.
actually, but I will be playing it probably by the end of the year,
Mm.
based off the game list that I have.
Right. Well, the thing is, the community for this game has got banned on Reddit for reasons that you and I can suspect. Apparently, they were looting this mademoiselle. Now, what I find fascinating is that the loli community, for the first time ever, was split on this issue. You see, up until now, they would say, well, free speech, fictional characters. However, in this situation, half of them were basically saying that no, like this is way too close to a child. You guys are genuine pedophiles. So there was a massive civil war within the weeb community on Twitter. And the interesting reaction was, I guess, like from people on the M2M2 sides, the actual decent folk, the pillars, the bedrock of morality, the anchor that keeps us all chained to reality. And they were upset. It's like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, you lollies, like, how can you like My Hero Academia titties and disavow this? Like, you guys have to be consistent in order for the world to make sense. Everything is falling into chaos. You cannot say that you like this anime titty, but you disavow this. Like, fuck is wrong with you? Like, you need to be degenerates. And so I'm a little bit confused. Like, what exactly should we make of this interesting civil war?
I mean, the Civil War has been going on for a while since the game was announced, like last year.
I remember
I
that.
say
Yes,
last year, but it
the
wasn't that long
comment
ago.
section was were
Oh.
were very almost shiroi.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, my personal opinion is that I'm not into lolly or shota myself. That's not my thing. I like big, strong men and hot women.
Hmm.
But it's just, it's drawn in pixels on the screen in a certain style that just is sort of realistic, but still cartoonish enough that like it's clearly not real and doesn't matter. In this case, it definitely, in my personal opinion, while it's still pixels on the screen, it's hyper realistic.
Hyper realistic. That's
And
the word. Yes, hyper realistic.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like this is, you could basically take her out and put her on the street, and I mean, she looks like the real deal,
Mm-hmm.
with this, and that, to me, that like
A little
broaches,
bit
like
too
that
far.
crosses a
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, now since it still is pixels, this is where it gets a little bit like
Well, we're not
conflated because
talking
then
about putting
technically,
people. Yeah, we're not talking about putting people in prison, right? Like taking away resources from the law enforcement agencies in order to police the internet. We are saying though that when Reddit has decided to ban this, I
hmm
personally can see where they were coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it too because
Hmm.
like for I know for a lot of people it does actually cross a line because of how hyper realistic it actually is. Even some within like the lolly community because I remember that when this game was announced, the controversy it caused for like a solid week. And there were there were some lolly cons that were defending it. But there's some that were being like, yeah, no, this is actually too far.
Yeah, because I
With
was
it.
looking at the people like the lolicons attacking it, and I wanted to
Mhm.
see like are these genuine lolicons or tourists, and I would go like on their friend list and see what artists they're following, and I was like, nope, nope, they're lolicons. Like, yeah, absolutely. Um, but the way that I can explain, like there's people that generally can't rationalize, like, why do they like anime but they don't like this? And I think it's kind of like if you watch Goku, the first Dragon Ball, right? Like not Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball Super, but like the first one. Goku is like 7 years old, and I think like Bulma is like 13 or 14. And the original series, it has Goku being up, like beaten up bloody to a pulp. They have him die as well, if I'm not mistaken, in the original Dragon Ball. Or well, no, wait, he dies in Dragon Ball Z. They got like Krillin. Krillin is also his age, and he dies. And so the issue is like when I watch Dragon Ball, like I can watch it because it's stylized, but if you actually had like a child actor getting beaten up and bloody and like having knives penetrate his hand and shit, I wouldn't be able to watch. Like there's a
Yeah.
difference between stylized when you're looking at the comical expressions and the big eyes and stuff like that, and the unnatural hair color, and it's even the physics. Because when you look at the anime, and you have like Dragon Ball Z and they're beating up each other. The physics work in the anime; they wouldn't work with real actors. And so I can understand why some people are basically saying, yeah, no, like this is not fantasy. This is hyper realism. I mean, it's still fantasy, but it's like hyper realism, and it's like crossing a line.
Yeah, 100%. Because well, anime is I really like the anime art style, because it's proportionate and anatomically correct in a lot of ways. It's not like Western animation where it's so uglified, like The Simpsons or like that Big Mouth TV show or like the different like things that like exist within Western animation that are all these like grotesque blobs that they've been using at least over the past like 20 some years now with it versus anime is somewhat realistic styling but in a way that's not hyper realistic. It's still animated, it's still technically a cartoon in that way where it has a unique style, and that's what makes that gives it the charm. It's that mix between the two that makes it so popular, other than the fact that anime is Japanese and Japanese things always better than the Western version of it. Uh, but once you cross the line, the hyper realistic, then it's just like this is just reality. Like no, nobody actually likes being in reality with it,
It's kind
especially when
of
anything like kid involved comes
yeah.
in.
There's also like another thing. I like a lot of slasher films. Like I like the Jason Voorhees series, the Friday the 13th. The Nightmare on Elm Street. I grew up with that, and I really enjoy watching sadistic movies like The Passions of the Christ, where they torture Jesus. Like Mel Gibson did a good job. But if you show me like actual Mexican chainsaw massacres or compound footage from Ukraine, I can't watch that shit. And so like there's like a line over there, where it goes into realism, and I just can't enjoy it anymore.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Like I know when I was younger, I would switch between watching anime and like some Western TV shows because it was a nice break between the two of them. Something more realistic, something more, unrealistic and more fantasy, that kind of deal. But as I've gotten older, I've just preferred the more fantasy, unrealistic, whatever plot it is for the anime. Because if it's just real life with real people, it just, I don't know, it's depressing usually.
Yeah.
Not saying anime can't be depressing either, but it's different when it's real people, and it's nice to have that escapism.
I do agree. Um. Anyway, let's move to the next news of the day. Apparently, Xbox has a new CEO. Her name is Shawarma, if I'm not mistaken. People say that she's Indian. Other people say that she's American. What I do know is that she's not a gamer. This does not look like the type of woman that I would encounter while playing Call of Duty. She does not look like the type of woman that would call my mother a whore, and so I do not feel represented. Like this is not a gamer girl. Okay, this is not. It's not that she's a man. It's not that she's from it. She's not a gamer. Like when I look at her, I just do not feel that gamer energy. And so people asked her to name 3 games that she played, and so they literally had to like use a forceps in order to pull the 3 names out of her. But she also like gave an account, which apparently was a trial account. So in other words, like people are claiming she literally made one just so that she can show to the world that hey, I'm a gamer like you guys. So
But
it's really
really?
bad. Yes, it's really bad. Now I understand why the first CEO had to go. He's the one that pushed Xbox One Pass really really hard, and apparently that was a financial disaster. And so finally they told him to fuck off. But this chick is like another trend that we see in the gaming industry where it's promoting people from marketing to be CEOs, putting people from sales.
Yeah, like I know in one of the links I sent, if you go through her resume, she doesn't have like any relation to like gaming at all.
Yes.
Um, and she's just, well, let me see here. She's got AI. She's a board member of Home Depot, a
Ooh.
board member of Coupang, which is a Fortune 200 technology platform and South Korea's largest e-commerce company. And then in Instacart, the COO of Instacart. Um, and
People
then this
say
is all within the
she's
past like
American
6 years.
Indian. Is this correct?
Oh well, she's Indian. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's for sure.
Hmm. So like
She
Indians
she
not hiring other Indians, challenge impossible is what you're trying to say here?
a little bit. Yeah, like the amount of
Yes.
Microsoft, it has been hiring so many of them. It's not even funny.
Hmm. They're good people.
Um, like it's and because the thing is, the old CEO was a white straight man. Now he might have been a financial disaster and a piece of shit, and he probably needed to actually go because Microsoft has been going down the toilet for a while. Um, but and same with Xbox too.
Didn't
But
Microsoft have Bill
I don't think.
Gates?
I mean, I technically, but he's busy trying to make fake meats and doing weird experiments on Africans and
Isn't he
buying up
busy
farmland.
in the Epstein Island as well? I mean, that takes a lot of stamina to go there. So.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why he has presidents and CEOs and other people who like work underneath him for this stuff, and he can just let Microsoft fuck off, while he's doing his own thing, and just let them be replaced by Indians over and over and over again.
What type of Indians? Like Feather or Dot?
Dot.
Oh, Dot. Okay.
Yeah. The uh, the feathers are too busy gambling and drinking on the
I mean,
plantations.
they're making like a really good business over there. You know, like they managed to grow their community. I'm looking at the numbers. It's actually growing up demographically. The casinos they're making a lot of revenue. So
I'm sure they are.
yeah,
They're famous for it.
they're making more money
So,
than you and I. So I can't complain. I mean,
they also get a lot of government assistance too.
hmm,
So, between the two of them, yeah, I'm sure they're probably living quite well,
yeah.
even though they're drinking it all away.
Grautsky has given a super chat TYD button. What does TYD mean?
Do you know what T and D means?
No.
Uh, don't say this.
Okay.
Don't say this, but I'm gonna type it.
All right.
There we go. There we go.
Let's
So
see.
that's what the acronym. That's what his acronym means. But the
Mm.
normal one is this.
Oh, oh,
Uh huh.
oh,
So
oh,
T, yeah, it's a
oh,
variation of this.
naruhodo. Naruhodo. Yeah. Okay. Right. So Izat has gone down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Grotsky is literally Indian, so he's probably not happy that we're talking about his people.
Yeah, but like I, I never understand this. It's like like I'm a Romanian and I don't really appreciate Romanians most of the time. It's like it's not necessarily a negative, like it's not necessarily an outlandish thing to find someone that like just doesn't appreciate the place where he's from.
Yeah, it's not, but like it's one of those cases where the whole Indian caste system
Do you
is
think it's
based
Brahmin
off
or
of.
do you think he's untouchable? Like which
Oh, he's
caste?
Dalit. He's Dalit,
Mm,
100%. Like I've seen his hand pictures. He's Dalit.
mm-hmm. I see. So, basically, like, do you think that the new Xbox CEO is going to do a good job revitalizing the Xbox community?
No. I
Hmm.
think Xbox is dead. Like the console wars in general are dead. Uh, like and they've been that way for a while. Like it had a nice last hurrah in the early 2010s. Like PlayStation was winning because it had lots of exclusives. But then Microsoft bought Xbox. And made everything more like PC related, which is not exactly a bad thing. But then like they just kind of kept on sharing the games. They didn't have any exclusives anymore.
I mean, yeah.
PlayStation was kind of keeping that, but then eventually PlayStation started losing their exclusives too, and stopped creating them. So then there was only left the Switch, or sorry, Nintendo, which then created the Switch, and that was revolutionary. But the Switch 2 is not revolutionary. It's barely an upgrade, and so the consoles are just dead, and Steam is taking over. Like
I think
Xbox
like
is over.
there are like two ways that the consoles could come back. One of them is if they make like a brand new controller, like something that I guess like adds a lot to the experience. Like for instance, when you play God of War with the PlayStation controller and it vibrates whenever you hit something, like that's pretty cool, right? But like they have to invent something else like that. Now, what it would look like, I don't fucking know. But if you make like some really cool way of controlling that integrates with the actual game, then maybe. The other way would be to just, well, I guess embrace the Gunnar games coming from Asia. And just make country, like if PlayStation would just stop using the Californian shit and just be like, we're Japanese, we're going to start selling like Korean games and Japanese games and, like completely uncensored shit. It's just like, do that. Maybe they would get like people playing again. But,
Well, I even doubt that because the Steam is so is a giant,
mm.
and everybody just goes on PC these days because all the games are on PC, and even if it's not on Steam, you can sail the seas and find ways around things and be able to get it on your PC. It's so universal. There's literally no point for a console in those cases.
Well,
The only way
do you
for
remember
consoles.
that? What was the name of that joystick that people used to break TVs with? The Wii remote, right? Like you had the Wii remote.
Oh,
Yeah. So like maybe
I
something
was
like
like,
that.
what?
Yeah, you had like a remote that was like a nunchuck, and like people would
Yeah.
flick it, they would swish and throw, and it's like they would break their PCs, and there were like a lot of videos on the internet with people using a Wii remote and breaking their PCs.
Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I had a Wii and I played it religiously, but I never did that, so I never really thought that. I mean, people are stupid, so I guess that makes
I
sense.
know you're a woman, you
Uh,
don't have the arm strength to do it.
that is true. I am very weak.
Yeah.
But like I think like the Switch, Nintendo Switch was revolutionary and helped kind of continue the console life because Nintendo does one have exclusives and like Zelda, Pokemon, Mario. So you have to buy the Switch to play it or the Nintendo console. And then on top of that, it made it portable. You can take that literally anywhere. Obviously, the battery life isn't really good, but the fact that they were able to combine their Game Boy, DS, those handhelds that made them so popular back in the olden days with console games, and you can still play it. That was awesome. That was amazing. Like the hype was insane when it came out. Like I was so excited for it. but you would need something crazy like that as well to help make it come back. That or Steam dying. If well, when Gabe dies and Steam goes to shit and they fall to ESG as well, and they don't have as many sales. They start censoring even more than they already have been a little more recently. And then at the same time though, there needs to be exclusive games on the consoles again because it needs to give some sort of incentive to buy the console in the first place.
It would be so hilarious if Steam dies and people move to DL side and then they start censoring the DL side.
The L site?
DL side, yeah, you don't know what DL side is?
No?
It's a Japanese version of Steam.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And
That
so,
that would be interesting.
yeah, but like if you bring a lot of people there, the first complaint they're going to have is that it's not censored.
I mean, a lot of people don't actually like censorship. It's only that small minority that do. And they're very, very loud and they have control of all the institutions.
Yeah. V, will I debate the new Xbox CEO? I mean, the Xbox CEO would never debate me, but like, sure, I would debate her.
You
Like, I would just,
probably destroy her.
I mean, I don't think it's hard to destroy her. I would be like, what games have you played? How do you feel about AI being integrated into video games?
I'm sure she would love the AI part, which I personally don't have
Yeah, but I
that
don't
much of
think
a
the
problem with
audience would
it.
like what she has to say about the AI part.
That's true. It would be the games. It's the lack of any gaming experience, both in her resume and what she likes to play. Like I know that Tweaks mentioned like Halo and GoldenEye and something else, and it's like sure. So list the popular retro games. Yeah, go ahead.
Who the
Okay.
fuck even remembers GoldenEye?
Oh, it's pretty popular within the retro community.
With the what?
It's pretty popular in the retro community and like JRPGs. Not JRPGs. It's GoldenEye. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused with other ones. See,
Isn't it
I'm a
like
fake
a
gamer.
listen? Isn't it a James Bond first person
Yeah,
shooter?
it's a James.
Yeah,
It's a James Bond
which
one.
is older than I am. Like my grandmother was still alive and in diapers when GoldenEye came out. Like I'm not saying that it's not a good game. It's just like if you ask a random gamer, like if we go on any forum right now and we ask someone like what are your three favorite games, I guarantee you like GoldenEye will not even pop up. Like most people may say League of Legends or I don't know some um, Path of Exile 2 or a 4X strategy game or something like that. But like, who the fuck names GoldenEye? Like your favorite game, right? Like out of all the games, it's not Mass Effect, it's not Baldur's Gate, it's not a BioWare. No, it's GoldenEye.
I mean, it's a classic. I've been told to play it multiple times, and a lot of people love it. Like I
Isn't
said, it's
Half Life
popular
a
with the retro.
classic then? Isn't Half Life better?
Um, I mean, I've heard good things about it.
What about Quake?
That sounds familiar, but I don't know much about that game.
Jesus Christ, chat. I'm with the tourist. Help, chat. F1. F1.
Yes, I'm a fake gamer girl. Okay,
I'm with the
I can
tourist.
do ill will, raw XD. And I got the the cat ear headphones and a fancy controller, you know, lots of anime makeup on. But at the end of the day, I'm a fake gamer girl.
Speaking of thoughts, introduce me to the story of the day with the Olympics.
Okay, so the Olympics. So there's a lot of links with the Olympics that I sent you,
Mm-hmm.
because it depends on how you want to go with this. The first part that I sent you was about this one half Asian chick who was born in America, but then defected to China because she's half Chinese, and
Mm-hmm.
then played for them and won gold.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I think this happened before in another year. It's not the first time, and it's also with China. Like same shit.
yeah, and so that caused a lot of controversy because she was, born in America and she had I think Okay, yeah, because if I remember correctly, her mother is actually Chinese, but her father was American, but it's via surrogate,
Hmm.
and so basically she was used as like a Chinese spy, more or less.
What? Is she like
Yeah, so
is she like the level of Fang Fang?
Not Fang Fang, no.
Mm.
But her mom worked for the CCP, and
Oh.
there's a well, not underground, but there is a system within the CCP where they purposely have men and women have kids with Americans in America, so they have birthright citizenship because we have the birthright citizen scheme here, where like as just because you're plopped on the ground, you're now a horse. Congratulations.
Yeah, 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 like a
Which is
baby
stipulated here.
anchor. Baby anchor, it's called. Anchor baby,
Yeah,
anchor. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like an anchor.
basically, and so they can get the American citizenship, and sometimes they're actually raised in America, but they're actually supposed to be sleeper agents for the
Why
CCP, and
doesn't
then they get
America
sent
do the
back.
same? Like, why don't you guys like have sexy women go to Russia and have like Russian citizens to act as spies, or like sexy women going to China, and then you can have like a half American Chinese spy.
Um, I don't know. Like America's kind of dumb in this case. We just assume everyone's nice and good to us too.
Hmm.
Um, and China and Russia get along. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if China also does that too. And Russia and other places because like even though they don't have like dual citizenship, they still um like they get sent back to China either when they're young to be raised in China or they're indoctrinated still within the United States and be sleeper agents. Either way, they're trying to make these half breeds as a way to exploit the American system the best as possible. I
How
would
many
and
do you
see
think there
and
are though? I mean, I I mean, if you organize something like that, like you send ushikushi ladies to another country, right? Like, how many can you possibly send?
uh a decent amount depending on how many women you send, but there's also men that do it too with
Hmm.
their sperm.
Do you think like it
So
would
it's
work? It's like you have like men. It's like go out there and seduce American women.
it's all via like IVF and surrogacy.
Hmm.
That's how they've been doing it.
Oh.
It's like they're basically buying babies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand.
Now I'm not saying this Olympic chick is one of those,
Hmm.
but at the same time, like the mom works for the CCP. It was via surrogate. Like they're living in China.
Ah.
It kind of looks like that is around the case, and
So people are upset. They're suspecting.
yeah, like it's really upsetting because we have this stupid idea in America that anyone can be an American, um, and just because you're born in America, and so
But
for
like
us, to
you
a lot of
said, you
people,
said
she's a
that
traitor.
she has like her father American, and like if you have usually around the world this is true. Like if one of the parents is part of a nationality, the kid can be that nationality.
I mean, not to a certain extent because it's a surrogacy. This is via IVF,
Oh.
so the father's not in the picture.
Hmm. Hello, V and Mal. I hope you are in Arch's D&D. He has not invited me. If he offers, then I will be. But if he does not offer, then well,
It's
maybe
okay. I will be you in spirit.
you should be in spirit. Yes. Is Sargon joining?
Uh, no, it's gonna be with me, Lum Lum, Porkers, and Atari.
Ah, I see. So no Sharfado
So
Tough.
three women and a femboy.
Well, yes. So the answer is no. I will not be in Arch's D&D SZC. Thank you for the 10 Polish slotty though. Anyway, right? So like, what exactly is the controversy? Like, she participated in the Olympics. It's like, okay, um, do they believe like America should have won the medal, or like what's?
Well, yeah. So Americans think that she shouldn't have defected to the CCP because she was born in America and and raised in America, and so therefore she should have actually participated and played for America. And like JD Vance even talked about how it's unfortunate that she did that. Instead, she went over to China. But it's an interesting contrast because there's another half Chinese girl that also played in the Olympics as well. This time, her dad came over to America and had a surrogate with a random American woman. So it's the genders are actually reversed for the parents, but
Hmm.
he was escaping the CCP and actually hates the CCP and raised her to try to be relatively American as possible, and she also won gold. And so it was like interesting contrast to see the two of them. However, this chick, and she's the image on the thumbnail, and she's the Olympics part too. She's a massive leftist. So even though her father wouldn't allow her to go for the Chinese Olympics, and I don't know if she actually would have defected. I haven't heard anything that she actually wanted to. She hates America and she hates Trump, and she's got this god awful piercing within her lip, like not on her lip, on the outside. Like you only see it when she smiles. It looks weird as fuck.
Hmm.
Um,
To make a point, says Dark Touch, anyone could be American, but requires assimilation to our ways. Melting pot, not task salad. Well, listen, about every single empire eventually faced this problem. Like you expand, and then you have to conquer more people, and at one point you want to use those people without them rebelling. And so the Roman Empire, which in my opinion was one of the wisest civilizations on planet Earth, had this interesting concept of slavery. Now, the Roman slavery wasn't like the American slavery. The Roman slavery was pretty much like slaves had rights, like they literally had welfare. Like if a slave got sick, you were obligated to call a doctor, a physician to take care of him. The slaves had the right to own property. And what's interesting, like slaves could actually buy themselves out of slavery. And once they did that, they became Roman citizens. And so the idea was like if someone was working in a shop for like 15 years and then they accumulated wealth and bought themselves out, while working in that shop, like they assimilated a lot of Roman culture and the Roman way of speaking, so on and so forth. So like they became a Roman citizen with the same rights and obligations as everyone once they bought themselves out. So I wonder if Dark Touch is, considering this system that could be reapplied.
yeah, and that also helped cause the Roman Empire fall because at the end of the day, it's all based off your ethnic ability. Like there's there's assimilation's a myth.
Well, by
I
that
don't. I
logic, you
mean,
can't have empires then. Because like any empire that
yeah,
starts, well, let me put it this way, right? Like, let's say you conquer a nation, right? What do you do? Like, if you don't give them any rights, if you just treat them as conquered people, they just constantly rebel. So like, if you don't give them a stake into whatever it is you're building, the moment you leave and you deploy your forces elsewhere, they just rise up and rebel.
I mean, empires fall
Yeah,
eventually because there's
everything
no actual
falls.
good way to
Nations
handle
fall
it.
as well. Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
like
like there's no good way to handle it. I mean, obviously you have to worry about rebellion, like you said. And if you give them some sort of stake that makes them happy for a little while, but they usually keep of whatever their nationality and whatever it is. Like Ukraine's a good example, right? Where they consider themselves separate from the Russians, even though Russia had them conquered for hundreds of years. They still firmly believe that they're their own independent people, and they only got their freedom about 60 years ago. But they're their own strong, independent country
it wouldn't be the
at
first
this point.
example. I mean, Russia is actually more diverse than the United States. There's more ethnicities in Russia than there are in the U.S. But there's also the point that you raised. It's like, well, it's because of this that the Roman Empire fell. The Eastern Roman Empire had a similar system, and it managed to remain all the while until it got conquered by Turkey in Constantinople. Not Turkey, the Ottoman Empire. So, like Eastern Roman Empire, if you're looking at it that way, it lasted more than 1,500 years. So I don't think it's the assimilation problem. But if you look at how things were done in the past, they're definitely not being done now. Like right now, it's just like let them in. They create enclaves. Then they complain because like their way of life and the way of life of the country that they're in doesn't coincide, and so they claim oppression. Like let me give you an example, right? Like PewDiePie. PewDiePie, I think, is a great example, right? PewDiePie sees Japan. He wants to go to Japan because he genuinely likes the culture. He goes there, buys a house, gets married, has a kid, and I think like he has a vested interest for Japan to remain Japan, because like that's why he went there, right? Because he likes Japan. Now, imagine if there were, I don't know, 10,000 Romanians in Japan, and I go there simply because the welfare is better, and I just go into the enclave with other Romanians, and we just talk Romanian, we keep doing what we do in Romania. My incentive would then be to get Japan to allow Romanians to do whatever we want, right? So, like, the concept of migration is the same, but when you migrate in an enclave and you migrate for welfare, you have like a completely different mindset than when you migrate because like you genuinely like a country and you genuinely like its culture.
I mean, technically, yes, there's a better form of it, but he's still never going to be Japanese. He's still ethnically Swedish. You know, his ancestors and descendants, as long as they don't race mix, but mostly his ancestors for thousands of years, have always been basically Swedish or some sort of Germanic relation within Europe. He'll never actually be Japanese. I grant that that's the proper way if we're going to move to another country is to respect the cultures and not try to change anything, but he'll still never be ethnically Japanese,
But does he
no
want to
matter how
be
hard he
ethnically
tries.
Japanese? And not to mention, like, if his kid marries a Japanese woman, and then his grandchild marries a Japanese woman, then eventually he will be indistinguishable. Now, if you're 23 and me, yeah, sure, but like, if you're looking at it, if they keep marrying into Japanese people, which they probably would, given the fact that they're surrounded by Japanese people, eventually, yeah, like his family will be indistinguishable. But that's not even the point, because it's like the idea. And this is what I think, and many Eastern Europeans think. It's like your family is the most important thing. If your nation is not good for your family, if the community you're in is not good for your family, you just leave. I mean, you're American, like you're part of Europe at some point, and you just went for a better life over there. Your ancestors did, right? And even in America as well, like there were people in some parts of America, and when things got bad, they moved to another state. So like the idea that people have roots and they should never leave like the plot of land that they were born in, even if it's actually bad for them, is detrimental for them, is something that I don't recommend to other people to do.
I would say it's different in the case of America because it was unexplored territory, a whole new world, vast amounts of wilderness, and it was more conquering than it was actually like moving. They actually built something in America because there was nothing there. There was very little civilization. Yeah, there was the feather Indians there, but they were far and few between, and still
I mean, it
more or
depends when you
less like the
move,
tribes in
because
Africa.
yeah, but it depends when you move, because like you wouldn't know if it's like during Jamestown, like you wouldn't know what it's going to be like. One second, I got a super chat, that $5. The enclaving is what you must prevent. It prevents assimilation. See the Native American assimilation program for proof of efficacy. Yeah, the enclave is pretty much enclave and welfare. To be honest, like if it wasn't for welfare, no one would give a shit, right? The main reason people are upset, like the number one reason is, well, first of all, like job competition, but like secondly, it's also the welfare system. Like, if you don't have welfare system, then most people that immigrate there would generally immigrate for jobs or because they like the culture. Also, we have a Japanese person in the chat. We got someone that maybe disagrees with the fact that PewDiePie shouldn't have moved there.
I mean, yeah, because in their eyes, he's a foreigner. I
Hmm.
mean, he's a respectful foreigner and better than, if it was like a different, let's say, more global South variant, for that kind of deal. But he's still a foreigner nonetheless. He's still, even though he tries to assimilate, he's still going to not have the proper accent. He's still not going to, look the
Mm-hmm.
same. He's still going to have little aspects of him that are still going to be Swedish instead of Japanese, no matter how hard he tries.
What
And, at
what would
least
you
he's
rather
trying.
what would you rather have? a person that moves next to you and he is Japanese, or a person that moves next to you and he is a white leftist?
That's hard because I do see the Japanese as honorary Aryans, but they're still Asian
Oh my god!
Chinese.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine. A Chinese, right? You have a
Then the white
Chinese moving
leftists.
next to you or a white leftist? Yes.
A white. I would choose the white leftists.
Really,
Yeah.
really, you. No, I mean, no, I'm no. It's your choice. I mean, sure, yeah. I would
Like
just.
I don't trust the Chinese. A lot of them are very loyal to the CCP, even if it's against their will, whether they be blackmailed
Yeah,
or
but it's like it's
whatever
in
the
your
case
neighborhood.
is.
Like, what are they going to do? Like, summon Chairman Z to start another Tiananmen Square in your neighborhood? Like, you
I
know.
don't want Chinese in America. They have China. They can live there. Like they have that massive country, you know.
Mm,
Like they can do their own espionage on themselves.
mm, I see. Anyway, right, before we get the stream demonetized, let's see if we have more news. Apparently, Discord has been caught lying to people. The robust age verification, which they promised is not going to take people's data and store them, was actually taken from people and stored by a company named Persona. And apparently, this company not just verified your age, but also verified if you're a terrorist and if you pay your taxes. I'm not kidding. Like they literally like just try to verify the taxes of the people that try to watch porn on Discord.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Discord lying and spying on you. Oh, what a shock. Who could have guessed this?
To be fair though, there is this company that Donald Trump, well, not the Donald Trump, like the Republicans have promoted, and they're using
Palantir.
it. Plantier, yes, or Palantir. How is it called?
Yeah, Palantir.
Palantir, which apparently is like named after those black orbs from Lord of the Rings that Sauron watches through.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they're collecting data in order to, I guess, like work with ICE in order to find out, you know, where illegals are hiding and then dox them to ICE. The problem is like a lot of people are okay with it, and I want to remind people what happened with the Patriot Act and especially like 9/11. Like a lot of the shit that was used in 9/11 to crack down on terrorists was then used by the Biden administration to crack down on right wingers. Like you need to understand, like, is the concept something that you'd want it to be used against you? Like, do you want to go online, dox yourself, have your footage compared to a terrorist database, to people that don't pay taxes, to people that are scammers, right? And then imagine if you happen to get a false positive, which is possible because it has happened, right? And then you have like your bank account shut down, and this actually literally happened to a person, right? Like banned from social media, bank account shut down. He had to actually go get a lawyer, get it solved out, like weeks of his life and money wasted. No advantage to him whatsoever. But also, when these things get hacked, as they eventually do, and then your ID and your face and your information is out on the dark web, and identity theft is still a thing, right? How exactly does it benefit us that we have to like verify our age on Discord when we're already adults and we already know how to use parental controls in order to prevent our children from going on Discord?
It doesn't benefit us at all. It's just more government surveillance at the end of the day. With it, and it will be used against us, unfortunately. The counter argument when it comes to Palantir is the fact that the left is going to do this anyways. Like they're going to be using every single government tool and program they have as to the max ability, and if they don't have something that actually works for what they want, they're going to create it themselves because the left understands power and they know that when they have control, they had to do everything possible to stamp out the rights um, and go after them. And so it's basically us versus them, whoever gets to the other one first. That's how bad the situation's gotten.
I mean, I get the argument,
So
right? But like, if we constantly think like this, and it's like, well, the left are bad, so even they haven't done it yet, like we have to do it before them, and then they still take it and do it. It's like, well, who's opposing this then, right? Like, which is the force that's like actually against it and opposing this type of thing? And I felt like that's the whole idea of a two-party system, right? Like, if they do bad things, like, that's understandable, but like someone has to oppose them.
I mean, yes, that's supposed to be the situation, but it's not anymore.
But how
I
can
mean,
we
we
get
can
it
saw in
back
the
to
Biden
that?
administration.
Like, how can we get it
Um,
back on track then? Because like you can't like view yourself 80 years in the future, and it's like, well, I mean, like this used to be the thing, but like,
I mean, it really comes to the answer is actually the crush, the one who broke the promise, who broke the deal. In this case, it's the left. We had a handshake agreement with them, a gentleman's agreement, saying that there's going to be this two-party system. We're going to try to play fair and not do any underhanded tactics and different things like that. Of course, both sides kind of did, regardless of the case. But the left pushed way too far, especially way too fast. They're the ones who broke the agreement, and so they're the ones that need to be punished. Of course, their argument is that we did it first, but I think it's obvious that the party that wants to mutilate children and turn them trans, and then import mass amount of foreigners and have everybody in a welfare state is probably not the best one. Most normies tend to agree. There's a reason why Trump won overwhelmingly in the past election, after especially Biden did had his presidency. And so the only way to do it is just to crush them and punish them and tell them not to do this again. And then, if once the right goes too far, then the pendulum will swing and
yeah,
then they'll
I
both
I, I
punch.
don't know. I
There's really
personally,
no
yeah, I personally
proper
like.
way.
While I can agree with you on some issues, this whole plantier thing is creeping me out. I think like this is like the left. I can see them doing it, but they haven't done it, and so
Well, they did it under Biden, though. Like, that's how they were able to get the January 6ers immediately, within like 6 months after January 6th. That's how they were able to
yeah,
lock
and
them
then
up
and
and
then
throw
Trump
them.
basically campaigned saying that he's going to regulate the banks and get them to stop that shit, right? And
Yes,
so
but they already did it as soon as they're in power, and they already promised that as soon as they get in power again within the presidency, they're going to lock Trump up, or at least try to do it again. I mean, they already had 70 some federal charges against him, that were all bullshit, but they still tried. Once again under the Biden administration, they're gonna try it again and be worse.
V, it cannot go back to that until one side no longer exists, as Luxian, who has most of his super chats banned by YouTube. What does that even mean? Like, how can one side no longer exist? Like, exactly what? How are you envisioning this
He
happening?
he's fed posting V.
He is fed posting, but like, I'm trying to understand, right? Because like, we're talking about ideas. So like, you think that people with ideas shouldn't exist? Like, do you understand the concept of martyrdom? Do you know like what martyrs create to a movement? Just I'm
The
trying.
problem is there's no real. We've gone to the point where there's no real off ramp,
Well, it's even
like
that.
at
It's like
this
in
point.
Civil War. It's like, okay, what if you lose the Civil War?
And if we lose the Civil War, then we lose the Civil War. Like that. That's it. Like we'll be lost. I mean, it's the victor wins writes history at the end of the day, and so it's gonna suck. But it is what it is, of course. In that
I
hypothetical,
don't even
we'll
think there will
never
be a
know.
Civil War, and I'll tell you why. Like, as long as the borders are open and people that are dissatisfied can leave, you don't have a boiling pot. Also, people ask me like, why am I still on Discord? I actually did try to move Discord. I did try to move servers. No one goes. Like if you use another social media program, if you use TeamSpeak or if you use Matrix, people just don't come. And it's also like most of this is due to legislation. It's like governments are forcing corporations to do the robust age verification. Like even if you bounce around, people that eventually all programs will comply because it's Australia, Canada, the UK, and the EU and France pushing for this, as well as some red US states. So
And to be honest here, I'm not a fan of age verification. I'm not a fan of government
Mm.
surveillance. I don't want them breathing down our neck at all. And I don't like this thing with Discord. I know my people are looking into a different system to possibly use instead of Discord when the age verification thing gets more official, even though they've been slowly rolling it out and trying to do it sooner anyways. Um, for this stuff, it's not something that I personally advocate for myself, but I also understand that at least when it comes to the Palantir and government stuff, the left has already done it before many times. So the Rubicon's been crossed in those
Mm.
regards. Discord and age verification, since it's social media, I feel like there's still a way to possibly save that if the United States can actually do something good and regulate and pass laws to stop that from happening and not go the UK and Australia route where it's required. But that's a different
Someone in the
story,
chat
and that's pretty
asked.
hopeful.
Someone in the chat asked like, "What's wrong with digital ID?" Well, okay. Imagine that if you want to log on to the internet to make an account or anything, you need a digital ID, right? Now, imagine that your digital ID gets banned. I mean, this is possible, right? But like, you broke TOS. You said something naughty on Twitter. Now you can't make any more accounts. You can't make any more accounts on Twitter. You can't make any more accounts on Facebook. You can't make any more accounts on Twitch. Anything on the internet that requires a digital ID, you can't because your ID is flagged. Do you know what system this is? It's the Chinese system. It's actually one of the best systems in order to enforce compliance. Especially if your digital IDs log into your bank accounts, to your job application. They wanted to do that in the UK, right? So, like, if you have a government like in the UK, like Labour, and they would pass digital ID, and you actually become a problem. Like, let's say you organize a protest against them, or you're very popular on social media, they can simply deperson you with one click of a button. And so, why would you want that? Like, how exactly does it benefit you as a citizen? Like, what do you gain if the current system where you can just browse the internet freely goes away and you have like a digital ID system?
Nothing.
Yeah,
You lose everything.
yeah.
Like it's dystopian as all hell, and it's terrifying. But we're already like halfway there.
Well, I mean, in the UK, they actually surprisingly managed to push it back. In the European Union, they're trying to push it, but like it has been repealed several times. It's not as easy as they wanted to make it. Um, Usually, like if you look into Taoism, a Chinese philosophy, any type of system that like requires constant censorship and pressure, it's an artificial system and it can't last. So we'll see what happens. At least in my country, it will take a long while until digital ID will become a thing. And America has like this really good philosophy and mentality to be against IDs, so it may actually not work as they intend to.
Yeah, they've been kind of trying to have our own version of that here, but it keeps on failing every single time. I don't see it being successful anytime soon.
Even
At least
leftists
under
don't
the
want
like,
it. Yeah, even leftists don't want it.
yeah, because of how dystopian it actually is. It's gonna be basically what's happening with Discord right now, where since the UK and Australia already have been passing these laws, they're now making it universal. It's going to be the companies that are going to be making it um the norm across the board. And for the new generations to get used to it, so they can just use basic functions for different social media sites. And then once it becomes more normalized, then the US will probably pass something, because it's to the government's advantage to do so.
Oh shit! I don't even know if I should bring up this news, cause you're dangerous. Like if I mention this and I set you off, I don't know if my channel is safe. But
I can
okay.
control myself to a certain degree. I
Let's
won't
see.
say the
Let's
hard
see.
R.
Okay. Well. Chat. Vote if Amalgamite can control her safe, because like this one is spicy. Okay, are you ready, Amal?
Sure.
So transgender. Oh. uh, Transgender Minnesota Democrat representative Lai Finke has said that queer kids need access to pornography websites for educational reasons. You can't control yourself. Like, look, just be honest with me, right? Like, let's be honest here. Like, you just heard
Uh-huh.
that, right? Like, you're internalizing it. You're like actually understanding what the Democrat representative is saying, and now you have to make the choice, like, what is going to come out of your mouth into the microphone, and you're like, fuck it, V. I don't think I can. I
I
don't think I can be. I don't really.
I can say wood chipper. I know I can say wood chipper.
Well, I mean, see, depends. Like, if you were to actually put it into a sentence and make a phrase, I know, because you'd be threatening an American representative of the Minnesota county, right? So, like, no.
But I didn't. I just said the
You
word
did,
wood
yes.
chipper.
That is correct. So I guess yes. Zlixia wants me to read this DM. I will in a bit. Blue Stellar Wave says, I'd love to see in politics, especially in the EU, someone who works towards healing the society and against the left-right male-female division. That would be nice to see, actually. Sergeant Gunnery also says, Amal, congratulations on 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Is this something that happened, Amal?
Yeah, I hit 10K the other day.
Hmm. Zlixian said that he was
Thank you.
not fed posting. He's saying that whichever side, when in power, uses that power to stamp out the other, effective of existing. That never happened in any democracy, unless you have like a communist revolution. Even then, usually it doesn't work. Like even the communist revolution in Russia eventually gets defeated and overthrown. I'm trying to think of an example where like one side wipes the other. You cannot wipe ideas. You create martyrs and you just delay the backlash. It just doesn't work that way.
I mean, the American Civil War was able to knock out the Confederates, and they were resentful for quite a long time. But eventually, everybody,
yeah, but you didn't wipe them out. No, you didn't wipe them out. You still made them statues, and you still allowed them the flag and everything. Like that's the thing, right? You didn't like wipe them out, which is what Zixian is
No, but
suggesting.
no one's trying to rebuild the Confederacy. No one's
Yet.
trying to, keep it really alive.
Yet.
Every once in a while, you'll have somebody with a Confederate flag and be like, they did nothing wrong or something along those lines.
Listen,
but that's far and few between.
Amal, there will be a time when someone tries to get the band back together. I'm just saying. Darkloud, conceptually, you have to deal with current combatants, then you undermine their mythos via schooling, combined with outbreeding, win the long worm.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. It's been an hour, so it's also been a pleasure for having you here. Hopefully
it's the Fed posting edition.
Yeah, this was the Fed posting edition, and it was with the Special Olympics as well. So, anyway, thank you for being here, chat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with the map. Take care.
Bye, chat.